headlines locally or nationally. We're breaking it down now.
My town to South Beach.
Live from the capital of the Commonwealth, it's The Bill with your host, Jack Fitzpatrick.
Good Friday, July 18th morning. Thank you for clocking in, getting your day started with us right here on 106.1 ESPN for Fitz The Bill. I'm Jack Fitzpatrick Allen alongside on this Friday morning. Appreciate you listening on ESPN Richmond app, espnrichmond.com, or if you're watching the stream live on our YouTube, thank you for being part of it over there. If you want to watch the stream, type in ESPN Richmond in the search bar. We'll pop right on up and you can watch live. And from there, you can comment on the stream and you can subscribe to everything that we've got going on over on our brand new ESPN Richmond YouTube channel. And if you want to be part of the show the old-fashioned way, feel free to call, text in 804-327-0888. We'll have Pat Jaggers joining us at 9:30 from the Motor Racing Network. Chat a bit about NASCAR going into this weekend. Preview a little bit about that Richmond race, which is coming up in just under a month. So excited to be catching up with Pat, as we normally do on Friday at around 9:30. And Alan, I've been putting on Rocky Top in my car when I get in the car just to feel a little bit of something. With college football, it feels like it's right around the corner, and I'll just throw on Rocky Top. I don't really have any allegiance to Tennessee, but I think it's one of the best songs that there is out there when it comes to college football fandoms.
Good way to start your morning off depressed.
Because Tennessee. But man, that song really just gets your foot stomping.
Nah.
You don't like that song?
Nah.
Who do you think has the best song?
Well, outside of obviously
you're gonna say
Inner Sandman. Yeah, let's throw that out.
We can keep that in. I still love Rocky Top.
I mean, well then if we're keeping it in, I don't think there's a better intro than Inner Sandman. But they don't blast Inner Sandman out to every touchdown. I gotta say, for me, as far as like things that are memorable with the fight songs, it's based off of video games.
Yes.
Because we played a lot of NCAA before it went away. And now that it's back, the teams that score a lot. So I can hear Michigan's fight song in my head, Notre Dame's fight song in my head, for sure. And then obviously because I'm a Florida State fan, the war chant gets thumping loud in my house.
Have you been to a Florida State game?
Yeah, my cousin used to play for Wake Forest, so I would go see those games on the regular. Oh, and then I only live 45 minutes from Charlottesville and Blacksburg, so anytime they would come play UVA, we would make it down there too. Yeah,
and it was a home game.
Yeah,
pretty Florida State. When you'd go cheer on your cousin when he was playing at Wake, who'd you root for?
All right, so this is a great story. All right, so my cousin played. He plays safety.
Okay.
And he's like a big brother, man. Like I love him to death. He's our Leonardo. He keeps us in line.
I'm worried where this story is going to be going.
He tackled Greg Jones and he hurt him. And I was so mad. I'm talking like I didn't talk to this man for weeks. Like we were in the car. Matter of fact, after that game, he was coming home because they were on a bye week, I think, after that game. We were in the car. It was me, him, and his brother. Like again, we were always around each other. And I'm a talkative person around my family, and I didn't say a word the entire trip back. And we shared a room together. I didn't say a word, man. We were at dinner. He tried to talk to me, man. I couldn't say a word. And Greg Jones was a monster, right? So you had to tackle him low. And it was one of those things where it was a football play. But I to this day, I tell him, like, you're dirty.
What was it, a dirty tackle?
No, heck no. Greg Jones was an animal, man. You can't tackle him how you die. So I don't have a problem with the hindsight, but he was part of a play that got Greg Jones. I don't even think he stayed out long. I think he came back in the game too, but it didn't matter.
So it wasn't even like a big injury.
It didn't matter.
It was on principle.
Yeah, it was on principle.
It was on principle.
But he had one of my happiest moments as a sports fan was seeing my cousin on TV against Joey Harrington and the Oregon Ducks. And I think he returned a punt or did something, like he made a big play and they announced his name. And I've been telling people all along that my cousin played at Wake Forest. And they were like, your cousin don't play at Wake Forest. Because they were never on TV. So they finally got on TV and they're like, dang, that's your cousin. Like, exactly. See?
Poor Wake Forest. Never getting the love they deserve.
Nah, but he got recruited by what's my guy? He was the head coach with Matthew Stafford and them. Is it Caldwell?
Jim Caldwell?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He got recruited by him. Actually, hilarious that I did not put it together until I saw him on TV one day, and I was like, "Oh, that dude ate dinner with us."
I know him. Wait, how do I know him?
And there's a big picture in my aunt's living room of my cousin in Caldwell. So I'm like, dang, I really don't pay attention.
Man, I know him. I hope he's doing well for the Lions. Looks up at the record. Oh no.
Yeah, no.
Oh no.
I did support him too on the low just because of that. He's a nice guy.
Wake doesn't get enough national televised games, and we'll be promoting Wake quite a bit at ACC Media Days next week.
I hope not.
Hey, we're working on getting a couple of Wake players. We're trying to get any player possible that is there during ACC Media Days.
All right, so look, you're obligated during ACC Media Day to also let me know how the food is, because I want to compare it. Because I went for basketball, you guys are going for football.
Yeah.
I want to see if they treat football better.
Bennett Conlon, a friend of mine, he's been on the show a couple of times. He used to be the UVA basketball and football beat writer for the Daily Progress out in Charlottesville. I texted him. I was like, do you have any tips, any tricks for ACC Media Days when I go down there next week for football? I get a text back and he goes, I'm jealous. And I was like, oh, is it that good of an event? And he goes, no, the lunch they give you is the best.
See, that's
food
what I was
ever
gonna
had.
judge. I wasn't gonna judge the breakfast. The breakfast was phenomenal, but the lunch was just like some like prepackaged sandwiches. So I had questions. So I'm like, I feel like you guys are gonna get Bojangles.
We get because I think basketball and football, they kind of lay it out a little different.
Yeah.
It sounds like with you, basketball is more morning based.
Yeah.
The football one's more afternoon.
I'm already
based.
mad about that.
Because you like we have some availabilities that go until 5. So like it's the players aren't coming to Media Radio Row until like 9 a.m. So it's really like 9 to 5. And some availability scattered throughout there, like media scrums for coaches and things of that sort.
I've got a picture on my Instagram because I documented it because it was funny. But I'm on my scooter going to the hotel to get ready, and it was like 6:30 in the morning.
I mean,
so I can't stand you just off of that. Like I had to get up early.
Yeah, well, I still got to get up early. We're doing the show live
that's
from
true.
there,
Yeah,
so I got to get there by 8 a.m. and a little before. Got to set up the Comrex. I got to get it all going.
Okay.
So I got to be there early too.
All right, well then we're fair.
I'll
blame Matt.
Yeah. Matt when they sent over the availabilities. I was like, oh, these are all Matt.
Yeah,
I'm getting potentially Miami on Tuesday of next week. Still waiting on their SID. Their communications got to get back to me. Hoping I'm crossing my fingers that I somehow get Cristobal or Carson Beck.
Cristobal was on last year with Matt. Did he tell you about it?
Yeah, I was producing when that one happened.
Yeah.
When he goes, God, Cristobal was he was really rough with.
He was tough for a guy that doesn't know how to manage the clock. He was very on point about his time, which is interesting.
Very on point about his time. But trying to get some Miami guys. We got some Pitt guys, Duke, NC State, Wake Forest. So we've got a nice little. We're building out a nice little roster of players. That Thursday, we're gonna have back-to-back interviews. So that's going to be a rotating door between Duke and NC State, hitting the North Carolina teams hard.
And, with the Duke thing too, make sure you ask about the NIL because it's going to be interesting. I think because they've spent money on their football program this season. So
I was wishing I got some UNC players, but their availability is like in the middle of the day because I was going to wear my JMU polo.
Oh my gosh!
Just kidding. I'm not. I'll be professional. I'll wear my non-branded.
Thanks to NIL, half that team's gone anyway. They probably like, what's that?
Yeah, who? Bill Belichick. Look, Bill Belichick's lucky he didn't get JMU last year.
Oh, he's got Richmond this year.
Yeah.
So we'll still find a way, obviously, to be.
What
down
if
there.
Richmond wins that game?
I would. Oh my god! I hope they do. Just because it would be crazy. And then maybe Bob will get to interview Bill.
Bill. So, Bill, what happened out there?
Now, could you imagine that though? And I know we're going left with this, but I know Bob listens as well. But I would love to know or be there. Bob, as an Eagles fan, on top of being a Spider, getting to interview Bill, like he would move up on his list of arch nemesis. He's beaten them at all levels. That would be phenomenal,
man. Now I'm very hoping.
Yeah, I'm rooting for it.
I'm
sure.
rooting for. I already was rooting for it. I'm rooting for it even more. Let's update you with what you may have missed in the wide world of sports overnight.
This is your Fitz the Bill morning update. Getting you caught up on some of the biggest stories in sports.
After new reporting from Pablo Torre and Mike Florio on the Pablo Torre Finds Out podcast, Lloyd Howell Jr. announced late last night that he is resigning as the NFLPA's executive director. It ends his 2-year stint with the NFLPA. Part of what Pablo Torre uncovered was that Howell was working, as we've reported on here as well, was working as a part-time consultant for a private equity firm that's actively looking to purchase a minority stake in an NFL team. Earlier this month, he refused to resign, saying there was no conflict of interest. After that new reporting, he did resign last night. The Los Angeles Chargers reported a training camp yesterday. With that, we've saw a couple of things come across the newswire. Free agent signing Najee Harris, who suffered a superficial eye injury on the 4th of July, was placed on the non-football injury list, and wide receiver Mike Williams, after spending a year in Pittsburgh, returned to Los Angeles this offseason, announced his retirement. All-world edge rusher TJ Watt inked a massive extension. The extension keeps him with the Steelers through 2028. Officially, a 3-year, $123 million extension. $108 million of that guaranteed. The deal has an average annual value of $41 million, making him the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history, surpassing Jamar Chase, who set that mark earlier this offseason. And in more NFL contract news, after a stalemate for the past few months, we're starting to see some second-round picks get signed. Jaden Higgins with the Texans, Carson Schwessinger with the Browns, both signed 100% guaranteed deals for the first time ever. A second-round draft pick signed a deal like that, so it put a hold on the rest of the negotiations. Yesterday, the 49ers broke the ice. They signed the 43rd overall pick, Alfred Collins, to a deal that's 88% guaranteed. Trey Amos, the Commanders' second-rounder, also got a deal done yesterday. In the NBA, after 2 seasons away, Damian Lillard returning to Portland. Lillard will rehab his Achilles injury this season, but plans to return in the 2026-27 season. And tonight, after a couple days away, the MLB returns. Nationals hosting the Padres, Phillies hosting the Angels, Mets host the Reds, and the Braves. They get a series going with the New York Yankees. First pitch, 7:15 p.m. right here on 106.1 ESPN. And the Braves were a bit busy as well, trading with the Rangers. The Rangers acquired right-hander Jose Ruiz and cash from the Braves for right-hander Dane Dunning. That's what you may have missed overnight in the wide world of sports. Alan, does that Braves trade move the needle for you in any single way? Cash considerations, sending him Jose Ruiz.
There's cash considerations in Major League Baseball.
Hey, here's $1 million. Can you take this guy off our books, please?
Let me check Dunning. I know he had some moments. Yeah. Probably if not last year, I think last year for sure, and the year before that. Yeah, his ERA is 3.38.
That's like the best one on the team then.
Yeah, by default now. But as far as like the name recognition and stuff, I recognize the name and I was curious. It is curious to see the Rangers let him go if he's still productive, but also I think the Rangers are kind of just packing it in.
Rangers are in a weird spot. They had some high expectations coming into the year and they're just around 500, but haven't really been able to do anything in either. Like they are a prototypical 500 team.
Yeah.
They're just like, they're there. They're there. Not underperforming as much as the Atlanta Braves, but definitely underperforming.
All right. So last year, his ERA was 5. So I had my years mixed up. It was the year before last when he was 3.7.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't think we're bringing him in to be the ace.
Change your bullpen and change everything around him.
He is flexible in the sense that he can be a starter or he can come out the pen. So that helps.
That helps with all the injuries the Braves get. You never know what he'll need to do.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to keep piling on.
No,
it's cool. A new season. It's the second half of the season. It is a new year.
Listen,
things can change.
Having gone through what we went through last year, I'm here to tell you that I am not optimistic when the team stays hurt during the first half. They're just going to magically get healthy in the second half. That happens sometimes in basketball, sometimes in football. Rarely happens in baseball.
That's
rarely
true.
happens.
Yeah, so. That's true. And one more piece of news, a little housekeeping before we go to our first break. August 20th, mark your calendars now for August 20th, because we will be taking Talkin' Dukes out into the world,
into the wild,
taking it from the studios out into the wild, 6 to 7 p.m. at Draftcade over in Short Pump. That's August 20th. So just over a month from today, we'll be doing Talkin' Dukes 6 to 7 p.m. It'll be myself. It'll be Matt Josephs. We'll have some special JMU guests rolling throughout the show. So come on out. It's at Draftcade in Short Pump on August 20th, 6 to 7 p.m. We'll be posting about it more. We'll be hyping it up more as we get closer, but we just secured everything. We figured it all out, and we're getting that rolling on August 20th. I'm very excited for that. Taking it out into the wild for the first time, taking it from here, the comfy confines of the ESPN Richmond studios, taking it over into Short Pump, and should be a blast. Should be an absolute blast. Scouted the location yesterday. It's going to be a nice little setup. They got us in prime real estate. I thought they'd put us in a back little room and do it over there. They got us in prime real estate over there at Draftcade.
I actually did an open mic at Draftcade because it's right next to Funny Bone.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a nice spot, and I will be out there to play the video games.
Yeah, they got a lot of video.
They got the retros, man.
Look,
I love it.
You come out to Talkin' Dukes if you want to challenge me to pop a shot. You challenge me to skee ball. I'll run the table with anyone in skee ball.
I don't like skee ball as much as I used to. I'm real old school. Give me some.
They got pinball. They got NBA Jam on the old stand up machine.
Yeah, I was gonna say, give me some NBA Jam, or I don't know. I haven't been there in a while, but if they found the Ninja Turtles arcade game or something like that, let's hit that and see if somebody can help me beat it.
Pac-Man. Did you ever beat Pac-Man?
I don't think you can beat Pac-Man.
I don't know if you can. I don't know. I've never got past the first level.
Oh no, I can get past the first level.
I'm really bad at Pac-Man.
I was actually really good at Galaga too.
Oh, I'm good at Galaga.
Yeah. I'm
horrible at Pac-Man.
I don't know if you can beat it. But I've played for extended period of time. My game for the arcade, because obviously it was dated by the time you got going. But
I'm not that young. I feel slighted sometimes when you make fun of
it's intentional. You walk into it every time.
90s kid.
I know you walk into it every time. But no, Time Crisis.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, that was the go-to as a shooter, where you had to push. It's the original push the pedal to get off the screen to reload and things like that.
Oh.
Yeah, so that was the original game like that. And so they had like up to 5, I think. By the time I stopped getting arcades, but like you were a legend if you could beat that.
Okay, I've never beat that, so I unfortunately don't have.
That's why I pick
status.
on you.
Hey, I played some arcade.
I'm not
games.
that young. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I didn't help myself there. Did not help myself there on that one. All right, on that note, we're gonna get a break in here. We'll be back. I'll give you some leaderboard updates at the Open that's happening over there in Ireland, and we'll also talk a bit about the second round picks that are beginning to sign and what happened. What was the inflection point that got these NFL teams to start signing these second rounders as they have started to make history there in the NFL? That's all coming up on Fitz the Bill.
Traffic reports on 106.1 ESPN Richmond, brought to you by Herman Allen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, a premier Linux dealer. Online at HermanAllenPlumbing.com.
Horse racing is back, and it's time to get ready for another Triple Crown season. Get the latest from the industry every Saturday morning from 10 to 11 with Off to the Races on 106.1 ESPN, presented by The Racing Biz. Nick Hahn and Frank Vespi bring you their insight and knowledge, talking with the people making the headlines, including jockeys, trainers, and owners. Plus, get the expert picks each week, including a visit by Derby Bill Watson. It's Off to the Races each Saturday morning at 10 on 106.1 ESPN, streaming live on the iHeartRadio app.
Fleetwood Mac fans, the word is out. July 24th, Rumors, the ultimate Fleetwood Mac tribute show, comes to the Surf Pro After Hours concerts at the Innsbruck Pavilion. It's Tribute Thursdays in Glen Allen, Virginia. Relive the rock and roll magic of Fleetwood Mac. Get your tickets now at afterhoursinnsbrook.com.
See website for details. Bills happen is not a lender. It does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, everything is so expensive, and our bills are piling up.
You're telling me credit cards are maxed out, rent is due, and the car payment's right around the corner? We need some extra cash.
We should do what my friend from work did. She went to billshappen.com and got the money she needed the next day.
Our credit is not great. Are you sure that would work for us?
Bills Happen is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
Sounds like it's going to be a hassle.
My friend said it was super easy. She did it right from her phone during her lunch break.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. BillsHappen.com's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Guess what? I went to BillsHappen.com and we're getting our money tomorrow.
Wow, that's fast. Problem solved.
If you need extra cash, go to BillsHappen.com. That's BillsHappen.com. BillsHappen.com.
This is Greg Trusinski of the Original Mattress Factory. Recently, the owner of a large mattress retailer was proudly sharing how over 65% of their queen mattress prices are $15.99 or higher. At the Original Mattress Factory, our focus is a little bit different. We build superior quality mattresses right here in town and do our best to save you as much money as possible. That's why at OMF, nearly 80% of our queen mattresses are lower than those prices others brag about. Stop in or check out originalmattress.com to learn more.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes. This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
1061 ESPN traffic.
Expect slow-moving traffic heading south on 95 between Bryan Park Interchange and Arthur Ashe Boulevard, as well as between Kings Dominion Boulevard and malfunctioning at the intersection of East 100 Road and Riversbend Boulevard. And heavy on the brakes heading west on 64 between Mechanicsville Turnpike and 95.
From Richmond and beyond, border to border with Matt Josephs on 1061 ESPN breaks down Virginia sports like nobody else. Bold opinions, zero sugarcoating. Tune in.
Welcome back in, Fitz The Bill, little open leaderboard update. And as a reminder, all live Open Championship leaderboard updates are presented by Richmond LSV. Schedule a test drive today for your neighborhood street legal low-speed vehicle at richmondlsv.com. We had Tom Flood on yesterday of Richmond LSV. If you want to go back and listen to his preview of the Open Championship and get some more information about Richmond LSV, head to espnrichmond.com/podcast. And you can find that podcast also on the Apple Podcast Network thing, whatever they call it. But shout out to Richmond LSV for sponsoring our live Open Championship update. So Brian Harmon, he sits atop the leaderboard. Through 13 today, he is 7 under. Great little day there for him. He's 5 under today. He is rolling through the course. He was 2 under on Thursday and has been on fire here today. Terrell Hatton is 5 under. If I'm not mistaken, that was a pick from Short Pump Corey.
Yeah, no, Tyrell Hatton is he's the Wish version of John Rahm, which isn't a knock on his
the
game.
Alibaba version.
No, it's just he is very angry, and
He's
Rahm,
so angry.
Rahm, I mean, I think he's gotten a little bit better about it, or maybe it's because he's on live. I don't see it as much. But Rahm used to have a really bad attitude when he came to his golf.
I don't think Rahm does anymore, but
Hatton ain't changed, man.
Not as much as not Maverick McNeely.
Wyndham Clark.
Wyndham
Clark.
I knew he was one of those weird names that sounds like a hotel brand.
Yeah, I'm really disappointed in that too, even though obviously it's not breaking news or top news. But like, come on, man, you're a past champion. Like, you've won a major and stuff. Like, carry yourself a little bit better.
Carry yourself with some, like, I get it. It's probably frustrating to do that.
But, it's immensely frustrating.
But like, that was also his second outburst, because he also threw his club racket at another major event, and he didn't get in trouble for that. He hit a bad tee shot. I think he ended up breaking his driver or something like that. And then what was it, the U.S. Open at Oakmont? He just destroyed a locker.
Yeah,
that's
so
unacceptable.
I'd have been like, grow up, but they banned him, which is hilarious.
So if it ever goes back to Oakmont, guess we won't be participating.
Pretty much. Look, a little bit of an update, and this is because I know Short Pump Corey loves his golf and listens to the show. You got to be careful with Harman, man. He won in 2023. It's not like he's a one-off, some random guy at the top of the leaderboard. He won the Open in 2023. One of the biggest indicators for golf gambling or picking golfers in general is like past performances, similar to horse racing, right? If a guy played well at a venue or he plays well on a certain style, he seems very, very, very comfortable with the links style of play that you usually see in Europe. And so, if that putter's rolling, which it has to be when you're playing any major, but especially at the Open, even the weather, I don't think it'll bother him, man. He's cool with the wind, with the rain, and all that stuff. Typically, that's where you see a lot of our American players falter when they play. Is that weekend you always get some rain, the greens change, and it gets extremely windy.
They're getting rain like every day, even now.
Yeah,
like every couple of hours, you'll just get like a random thing. So what you thought was how the course was playing is all of a sudden vastly different because you just got a little spurt of rain. And Harman atop the leaderboard. Short Pump Corey was talking about that too, about how Hatton and Fitzpatrick are better on link style courses, which is why he liked them. Fitzpatrick, another one of Short Pump Corey's picks, tied for 5th at 4 under. He tees off in an hour. He was 4 under on Thursday, set himself up really nicely here going into Friday. I'm pulling for Matt Fitzpatrick primarily because his last name is my last name. So I got to respect. I got to pull through for I guess he's not really Irish though, but like me, I'm technically not, whatever. Haotong Lee is 5 under with Harris English.
I keep an eye on English. I keep an eye on McIntyre too.
Oh, Robert
T7.
McIntyre.
Yeah.
He is T7. He's Keegan Bradley's 3 under as well. Scotty Scheffler 3 under. Our guy, Fitz the Bill's favorite golfer, Saddam Kwakajana.
Did you look it up?
I did.
Okay.
I'm still not pronouncing it right.
Okay.
Because it essentially just took his name, just a peek behind it with like broadcasters and pronunciation guides. If you're making a pronunciation guide, actually help for the pronunciation. Because what they did for his pronunciation was just took his name, which is spelled Kaewkwanjana. They just took it and just put hyphens at every syllable. So I'm like, I do not know how to pronounce Kaewk. Kwekajana. Like, that's the part that's hard.
I can hardly speak English, so I'm not your guy for this.
Yeah, but he's teeing off at 11:16 a.m. He shot 3 under yesterday, has put himself in a good spot. Christian, man, this is another.
Oh, Bazenhout.
Yeah. He's 2 under.
I know him.
For 12. I do too, but I always just avoid saying his last name whenever possible. Fleetwood, Tommy Fleetwood.
He's 4 under today.
He's 4 under today, which is good because he was 2 over yesterday.
Yeah.
So Tommy Fleetwood has moved up 58 spots, tied alongside Tony Finau, who's 1 under today. Lucas Glover has shot an even par. Nikolai Hogard and Lee Westwood, who is just getting through his first hole of the day, rounds out the top 12. Ricky Fowler +1 today, and he's fallen a couple spots.
Hatton just birdied, so he's 6 under, which is great.
Let's go, Hatton.
I'm telling you, man, like a final round with Tyrell Hatton is always entertaining.
If we get him in the final pairing on Sunday, that's must-watch television.
Oh, yeah.
He will throw like 4 fits.
He talks to himself a lot too, so I don't think anybody's harder on themselves than he is on the golf course, which is wild because, again, golf is such a mental game as well. The more emotional players sometimes don't make it as far, but Hatton's had crazy success in Europe, and then it's translated a little bit to the PGA, but like I said, that meltdown is inevitable.
Did you see how slow the pace of play was yesterday?
Oh my God, no, I did not.
There was at one point, I think it was Rory's group, one of like the premier groups. They were on the course for 4 hours and they had only gotten through like 11 or 12. So they're out. And I think part of that is like just the slow play that's kind of running rampant through golf as we speak. Maybe some of it was the fact that it was raining and it was wind, like the conditions weren't the best for fast play, but 4 hours and you still had like 5, 6, 7 holes to go is insane.
Well, I don't often cape for slow play. This is why I used to dislike Bryson DeChambeau back when he was in his skinnier days,
his nerd days.
Yeah, his nerd days where he was super analytical. Everything was just math running through his brain. But when you're playing a course like this, where seriously, like one bad shot, one overshot or undershot can land you in a bunker that you can't see yourself in, or like it's so penal to miss on this course. I'm not gonna, and with it being the Open Championship, I'm not gonna complain about it and be like, oh, you got to play faster. I mean, I would take my time too. I'm trying to win, man. This isn't like one of our, and I'm not knocking Independence Golf Course, amazing golf course, but like when you're in the Masters,
yes,
the U.S. Open,
it's
Open,
different.
Yeah, it's different, man.
Even if you're at the Rocket Mortgage Classic, it's different than playing in the Open.
Yeah, so I'm not going to complain about him being a little slow.
Do you think there should be some not PGA, I guess this is just golf rules in general when it comes to these big events, though, that you might start getting dock strokes if you take too long?
It is a rule. They just don't enforce it.
Do you think they should? Yeah, I guess it's like the pitch clock. The pitch clock was always a rule. They just stopped enforcing it.
And when they do enforce it, it's usually against people that don't have the same kind of following. Because
it's not Scheffler.
Dude, Patrick Cantlay is a turtle. He makes Bryson DeChambeau look like he's moving in like fifth gear.
Too slow.
Yeah, and he's never had anybody really say anything to him. But I have a theory. If you want people to speed up, put Brooks Koepka in their group. Brooks will get you moving because he will say something.
Brooks is the most interesting golfer out there because he's not a golfer. He's just like, I'm here to get paid. And
he's a bro.
He's like, I realized I was good at this and it can pay me millions of dollars. I don't want to be here. Let's speed this up. I want to get to the 19th hole.
I think, and I've said this before to my friends on our golf podcast, Brooks Koepka is what Dustin Johnson would have been if he didn't go to South Carolina or Coastal Carolina and have extracurricular activities. Because Brooks is intense. Dustin's intense when, at least he was. But like it's just the way they approach the game. Like they're competitive, they want to win. But it's like, yeah, I mean, let's just get this over with. Come on.
Dustin Johnson's run of dominance for like 18 months during COVID was one of the most impressive golf things I've seen.
I thought he was back, man.
I thought he was back too. Then he went to live.
Yeah, no.
So he could be back, but he's just over there playing like 52 courses.
I was an investor too, man. I was like, yo, DJ's getting 20 to 1 odds.
When he won the Masters by like 20 strokes, I was like, what are we watching? And then like 4 months later, it's like he's going to live, and it's like, man. Cam Smith did that too. What was it, 2022? Mm-hmm. When he won the Open Championship, and literally Monday he was like, and I'm going to live, and we've not heard from him since.
Yeah, and I will say this too, the two most improbable master wins of the later 2000s, Tiger Woods and Dustin Johnson, I was on board for both. And like you usually say, for the vibes, that's exactly why I picked them too. Just for the vibes, I was like, oh yeah, I love Tiger, I love Dustin.
Dustin Johnson got some vibes too.
I got followers for that pick.
Dustin Johnson's got vibes in every way possible.
Yeah. I know a guy that knows him personally, so yeah.
He's a fun time. Good for Dustin Johnson. All right, let's get a break in here. On the other side, a little news or snooze on this Friday morning.
It's the annual RVA Beer, Bourbon, and Barbecue Festival, Saturday, July 26th at the Meadow Event Park. Tickets online at beerandbourbon.com.
Summertime in RVA means one thing. Golf season is here. If you're looking for the perfect golf course, head over to Queenfield Golf Club, located just a few minutes east of Mechanicsville. Queenfield offers a beautifully secluded 18-hole course, spacious driving range, and professionally maintained practice greens and bunkers. Schedule your tee time today by calling 804-769-8838 or reserve a spot online at queenfieldgolf.com and make Queenfield Golf Club your new favorite course.
The countdown is on. Save the date because Diamonds Direct's designer summer sale kicks off this Monday, July 21st with 20% off the entire store. Engagement rings, diamond studs, fashion jewelry, and more. Want early access? Book your appointment now because the best pieces go fast. Don't miss the jewelry event of the season next week only at Diamonds Direct, and designer appearances July 25th through 27th. Top designers from New York and LA with their exclusive collections. Visit diamondsdirect.com to book your appointment and start saving.
Golf season is here. Whether it's your first round of the year or the next round, make sure you're playing it at Hunting Hawk Golf Club. We're offering special pricing this summer on outings for civic organizations, churches, kids' athletic teams, or your own special fundraiser. Also, now is the time to start signing up for your fall golf outings. For more information or to book a tee time, give us a call at 804-749-1900 or visit online at huntinghawkgolf.com.
Hey, Joe Fortenbaugh here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with the promo code JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MBA. The Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Earlier on Clinton and Friends.
I'll take Jalen Hurts 10 times out of 10 over a lot of guys. His personnel paired with his skill set obviously makes them a dominant football team. I don't need to know much more than that to believe that he's an excellent quarterback. You might like some of the individual skills of each of these guys more, but, last time I checked, the goal is to win the Lombardi Trophy, and the last time I checked before that, the Eagles had won it with aplomb.
Clinton and Friends, weekdays from 10 to noon Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Weather reports on 106.1 ESPN Richmond, brought to you by Herman Allen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, a premier Lennox dealer. Online at hermanallenplumbing.com.
106.1 ESPN weather.
Taking a look at today's weather forecast, it's currently 79 degrees and sunny, but feels like 85. Our low today is 75 with a high of 89. The National Weather Service has put out a flood watch starting around 2 p.m. today. You can expect sunny skies in the morning, followed by some clouds in the early afternoon and scattered thunderstorms throughout the afternoon and evening. And looking forward to tomorrow, we have about a 60% chance of rain with a high of 89 and a low of 74.
Statewide sports, straight talk, and no fluff. Border to Border with Matt Josephs on 106.1 ESPN. Your daily dose of hard-hitting Virginia sports debate. Don't miss it.
I think fan cams should just be a live stream at all concerts you attend just to see if there's any cheating people out there. I just saw the video of the CEO again, and that is one of my favorite videos currently on the internet. And I think we should do it more often. I think we should just have, how they have the video screens up at concerts showing the
But you wouldn't know unless somebody acts like that.
That was the crazy part. Like, if this man just kept holding on to his girlfriend that wasn't his wife, I don't know what's the proper way to say that.
Nah, but
if he just kept going with it, he would have been fine.
Or have this happen during like NFL season. Nobody talks about it, but like we literally have nothing else to talk about.
He also picked the worst. Yeah, this is
it was a Coldplay concert.
Hey. It was all yellow, man.
God.
Don't disrespect Viva La Vida. Don't disrespect.
I don't mind it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play it on the next bumper.
All right.
but wouldn't be caught with anybody there, actually.
There was someone that tweeted, you got to think Mr. Met is having a great time, because I don't know if you saw, he fell off the stage at the Coldplay concert earlier in the week.
No, I didn't see that.
And someone tweeted, I bet Mr. Met really happy that he's now not the most embarrassing thing that happened at a Coldplay concert this week.
That's, you know what? That's symbolic of the second half of the season for the Mets, right?
They threw him a tambourine. He dropped it, picked it up, then walked forward and fell off the stage.
That is definitely symbolic of what's coming for you Mets fans out there.
And the best part about a mascot falling off a stage like that is their face never changes. It is still smiling. And the guy behind the mask is just freaking out the second he's feeling, because he can't see anything. He's free falling there. And he's like, what's happening?
You want to laugh again?
Yes.
And I know you're going to think this is crazy based on our conversation during the break.
Okay.
But I know somebody who sometimes is Mr. Met.
Really?
I do. Yeah.
Is it the same guy that we were talking about?
It's not the same guy. But I do. So I don't know if he does the games.
Okay.
But during
so he's the C team, Mr. Met, when they have to go to Chick-fil-A for the kids.
I mean, based on his pay, he's not C team.
Oh.
But I would say I know for a fact he does like any of their events, like anytime they do like a Dunkin' Donuts thing or something like that, he's their guy. I think he even did Fanatics before. So I don't know if he would do a Coldplay concert because his musical taste is along mine. I don't think he would be able to even keep a straight face behind the mask.
A good thing he doesn't need to. He can do whatever he wants behind the mask.
I'm about to text him now and be like, "Did you?
Was that you? Was that you who fell at that Coldplay concert?
Yeah.
Was that you who was hanging out with that one girl in the VIP suite too? Just
I know, right?
Just yeah, Coldplay concerts, man. Who knew that they'd be generating this much information for us to talk about? That CEO stuff is hilarious. Dude, just don't react that way, and no one knows. It's no story. Maybe 4 people in attendance realize it or see it, but according to all of his coworkers and the people who work for the company, all kind of knew that this was happening. Just a hilarious.
Yeah, I mean,
story.
well, if you spend a lot of time at work, you know what's going on.
Best part, maybe the best part, is that the side piece is the head of HR. That's literally like HR's number one rule.
If you're gonna smooch with somebody, though,
it'd be the head of HR.
It should be HR.
Yeah, she can't get you. Yeah, smooth. Like you're covering all your bases.
I'm just saying, strategically speaking, it's the right play, the wrong time to call it, though.
True. That's like calling a Hail Mary in the first quarter, up 7.
You got to punt right there. You got to punt.
All right, let's get news. 3 headlines around the sports world that we're going to say are either newsworthy or snooze-worthy. Take it away.
News or snooze.
All right, number 1, we obviously wanted to get done early. We want that relief. But obviously, ownership is always going to make it drag out, make it more complicated than it has to be. That's Micah Parsons on his contract situation via, of all places, The Undertaker's podcast, 6 Feet Under. That's newsworthy.
I had to hit it twice, but it didn't work the first time. Yeah, I was going to say he's on The Undertaker's podcast. He's moving up.
What's more newsworthy, being on Undertaker's podcast saying this rather than his own podcast, or kind of throwing a huge shot at Jerry Jones?
I'm proud of him, man, because I totally expected that to be his podcast.
I did too. When I read that quote, I was like, oh, that must have been from his own random Bleacher Report podcast. And it said, on The Undertaker's podcast, a WWE star, 6 feet under.
Hey, like, Undertaker's got some pretty good guests too.
He's a pretty good interviewer.
Yeah, he's got some good stories too.
Yes.
I'm kind of jealous.
Good for him. Good for him for getting Micah Parsons to throw Jerry Jones under the bus. So
real quick though, if Mike is paying attention to the history of the Dallas Cowboys,
yes,
this is the perfect time to throw a shot at Jerry Jones, because you can already tell he's anticipating how this is. Somebody has spoken to him, probably Dez or somebody along the way,
or CD,
or CD. Yeah. Like, it's been like, look, you're gonna get into your last year. He's gonna try to finesse the books a little bit. He's gonna throw you under the bus in about 4 months.
He's gonna say at one point, the extra value that comes with being the face of the Dallas Cowboys, you can take a little less.
So you hit him first.
You swing first. You hit him in the face. I mean, Micah Parsons shouldn't be shocked because he's going into the final year of his rookie deal, and he's been due for an extension for the last 2 years, I believe, if I'm reading the CBA correctly. They've had a lot of opportunities now to sign this extension. But the way the Dallas Cowboys work is they always wait until the last second to get it done. He would love an extension that he has security past this year, but he's one of the best edge rushers in the NFL. So doesn't.
But is he an edge rusher?
Is he? That's also the key.
That's going to be. I'm thrilled. That's going to be the conversation.
That's going to be the interesting part when he gets franchise tag next year.
Well, they made a move to figure out the tag thing. I think they did that a couple seasons ago where they designated him a certain position or something. I had to look it up, but I know they try to get ahead of that. But I've always looked forward to this because I feel like it's going to be the reverse of Le'Veon Bell, where he was like, well, I'm kind of a receiver too, and I'm a running back.
Like, remember Jimmy Graham did it too? I'm more of a wide receiver than I am a tight end.
Like, Mike is going to say he's more of an edge rusher than a linebacker, or maybe he wants to find some kind of hybrid pay for that, because he's essentially positionless to an extent because they move him around a lot. But
if Micah's also okay with just playing out the final year of his contract, he's going to get so much money.
I wouldn't recommend it, man. That's such a dangerous position.
But he's not threatening to hold out or anything. Like he is fully expected to play this year under the last year, probably still behind the scenes work through an extension. But if he's comfortable with waiting, it is a very dangerous game. But he's going to become the highest paid non-quarterback. Like that is what he has to be demanding behind the scenes. And TJ Watt just signed the newest, highest paid non-quarterback. We have had the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history, not once, not twice, but 3 times this offseason. Myles Garrett, Jamar Chase, and now TJ Watt. So the longer he waits, the more money he's going to get.
So he is designated as a defensive end. So we can clear that up.
Okay.
The franchise tag for defensive end this past season was, I believe, $24 million,
which is about what he's making in his club option this last year.
It was a $24 million price tag. Super smack in the face there for him. So I don't know, man. I just get it done.
Well, it might go up a little bit because with TJ Watt signing, TJ Watt's technically designated as a linebacker.
He's a 3-4 outside linebacker.
He's getting that's helping.
It's different.
Smart of the Cowboys to designate him then as a defensive end.
That's why I said I think they did that a couple years ago, and got ahead of that with the anticipation that if they had to use the tag, it'd save them some bucks.
Good luck, Micah. So it's newsworthy. He's starting to throw the shots.
Dangerous game, man.
And with his podcast throughout the season, we know we're going to get a lot more shots thrown at Jerry Jones as the season goes on. Number 2, amid scrutiny. This is from ESPN. Lloyd Howell Jr. out as NFLPA executive director. This is newsworthy. Pablo Torre, there was a new report that came out yesterday on the Pablo Torre Finds Out podcast with Mike Florio. All Pablo Torre does is find stuff out. If you have not listened to his podcast, I highly recommend it. He did a really, really good hour-long podcast about the whole NBA betting scandals that are going on and how there is a nameless, faceless Twitter account at the core of it all. And it is absolutely hilarious. I highly recommend you check that out. But he did a new report with Mike Florio where exposed more of his conflict of interest. Also, all the while happening at the same time, that probably put a little bit more pressure on Lloyd Howell Jr. It has been found out that J.C. Tretter, the NFLPA president, who is a current player for the Cleveland Browns, or just retired a couple years ago, but was with the Cleveland Browns. He nudged players, urged players, if they didn't want to hold out or hold in to avoid getting fined, they should just fake injuries to have their own holdouts to try and get better contracts. So that's going on. There's a conflict of interest going on with Lloyd Howell Jr. With all of that hanging over the NFLPA, he resigned late yesterday, and apparently it was not fully disclosed to the NFLPA and the NFL players about his conflict of interest, about the fact that he was a part-time paid consultant for a private equity firm that is in the process of purchasing a minority ownership stake in an NFL team. That was not fully disclosed, and it's been not a good month for the NFLPA, as it is a tough time for them to be going through this much turmoil, because you got to know the CBA is coming up here soon in the next couple of years, and the NFL owners are going to try and get as much possible from these NFL players.
Sounds like a win for the NFLPA, but I dare say the next guy might be worse. But also, this is a win for the nerds, man. Investigative nerds, they're up, man. This guy Pablo, he blew the top off of the UNC stuff, so he's on a roll.
He's been doing a lot.
Might be getting himself his own personal show with a network here soon.
He already had one. He used to be on ESPN, and they laid him off.
Was he on the 30 for 30? Or no, what was it? Outside the Lines.
That was on outside. He's been a fan. I've loved Pablo Torre. He used to be the daily host of ESPN Daily, which was like a really good podcast they had.
Yeah.
Then they laid off Pablo. Then he went and found his way to the media company that Dan Lebitard started, Meadowlark Media.
Yeah.
So he's over there just doing his own thing. He had a whole podcast. This is so funny about the Pablo Torre. And no, Pablo Torre Finds Out is not a sponsor of this show. I just like the podcast so much. He did a full podcast, and this just shows you the breadth of information that this podcast has, where it was, have you smelled the weed smell at the U.S. Open? we're investigating where that came from. And it was an excuse for him to smoke weed at the U.S. Open. And he documented it for the podcast. So he has that going on. And then he also has some of the best investigative journalism around the NFL and modern day. So good for him.
Yeah,
good for him.
I support it.
So the CBA is going to be up in 2030. So we're 5 years out from that. You got to imagine negotiations are going. So the NFLPA does have a couple of years to get their feet underneath them. And number 3, source, Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson's shoulder believed to be okay. This is newsworthy. Newsworthy only for fantasy football, however. This is a fantasy football newsworthy.
The value's in the running, not his shoulder.
The value's in the running. However, he needs his shoulder to be able to start so he can run.
That's true.
It's notable that currently, according to Fantasy Pros, he's ranked as the 230th best player in fantasy football going in to the 2025 season. He's ranked as the quarterback 29. So even in a superflex league, superflex when you play 2 quarterbacks, even in a superflex league, he is not being drafted, which is hilarious. So if you're a fantasy guy, I'm just going to urge you now, Anthony Richardson is a great value. Don't draft him early. Maybe use your last draft pick on him. Stash him on your bench, because if he becomes the starter, he's probably going to get you 18 points because he is a great runner of the football, and he will just rack up points for you that way. In 2023, the last year Justin Fields was the full-time starter for the Chicago Bears. Despite him being a bottom half quarterback, he was a top 3 quarterback in fantasy football because of his rushing ability. So rushing quarterbacks are the cheat code in fantasy football. And Anthony Richardson having his shoulder believed to be okay ahead of training camp means he'll be able to compete for that starting job with Daniel Jones. Gives him a good advantage over Daniel Jones as the incumbent starter. Anthony Richardson, this is big if you're into fantasy football. And we've got Fitz's Fantasy First Look, which will be making its return as a segment in the NFL season coming up later on in August. So excited to be bringing that back. All right, let's get a break in here, wrap up hour number 1, and then we'll dive right on into hour number 2 on this Friday morning.
Traffic reports on 106.1 ESPN Richmond, brought to you by Herman Allen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, a premier Lennox dealer. Online at hermanallenplumbing.com.
Fleetwood Mac fans, the word is out. July 24th, Rumors, the ultimate Fleetwood Mac tribute show, comes to the Servpro After Hours concerts at the Innsbruck Pavilion. It's Tribute Thursdays in Glen Allen. Tickets on sale now at afterhoursinnsbruck.com.
Catch up on the latest horse racing news with Off to the Races live broadcast, 10 to 11 every Saturday morning on 106.1 ESPN. Presented by The Racing Biz.
The Open Championship PGA Leaderboard updates live on 106.1 ESPN, presented exclusively by Richmond LSV. Street legal low-speed vehicles. Schedule a test drive today at richmondlsv.com.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender. It does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, everything is so expensive, and our bills are piling up.
You're telling me credit cards are maxed out, rent is due, and the car payment's right around the corner? We need some extra cash.
We should do what my friend from work did. She went to billshappen.com and got the money she needed the next day.
Our credit is not great. Are you sure that would work for us?
Bills Happen is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
Sounds like it's going to be a hassle.
My friend said it was super easy. She did it right from her phone during her lunch break.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. BillsHappen.com's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Guess what? I went to billshappen.com, and we're getting our money tomorrow.
Wow, that's fast. Problem solved.
If you need extra cash, go to billshappen.com. That's billshappen.com. Billshappen.com.
Hey, Richmond, this is Joe Simpson. There's only one place in the 804 to stay up to date on all things Atlanta Braves, and that's 106.1 ESPN.
Quick, get down. Quick. Don't let the cameras see you. No.
Why are there cameras there?
Viva La Vida starting. We can't be seen hugging each other.
Why are cameras there? Seriously.
Fan cams. You got to get the kiss cams.
Is Coldplay really that popular?
Yeah,
Still?
Yes. They're one of the most popular bands in the world.
Huh. I mean, with that age bracket that those two are in, I can see.
Yeah, I mean, they are very popular with a very certain sect of the American public.
Yeah. I mean, I'm saying that, but I'm closely approaching that age as well. So I'm just taking my shots while I can.
That's true. That's true. I've got a long while to continue taking those shots, but I still enjoy a good Coldplay every now and then. We got a great text in over the break. Fun Friday rapid fire questions for us. So shout out to this texter. We will be diving into these questions. What would be considered successful for the Steelers, Cowboys, Jane Daniels, and then a really fun fourth question as well that we'll dive into in hour number 2 when we start things off over there. Also today, 6 p.m. gets it started with the afternoon session of the James Madison Regional in the basketball tournament in TBT, with the Founding Fathers playing the late game at 8 p.m. That's the JMU alumni game out there in Harrisonburg. Love Virginia, the Richmond Pro-Am team that's making its TBT debut this year. They will be playing against the Maryland alumni school, an alumni team at 6 p.m. That's all happening at the James Madison Regional in TBT. I'm really excited. I'm hightailing it over there. When this show ends, I'm heading over to Harrisonburg, catching a full day of TBT action. So I'm very excited for that. That is tonight. I believe the games are on YouTube, being streamed on TBT's YouTube.
Well, you do that. I'm going to be knee deep in some horse gambling here,
as you should be.
Man, Colonial Downs has been jumping. I can't wait. I've looked forward to having these long odds cross the finish line for quite some time. So if you are inclined, today is definitely a good day to get out there and see some racing. I think they got a stakes race on the card.
44-1 hit, right?
Yep. Yeah, 44-1 hit, what, 2 days ago? Yeah,
that was nice.
Yeah, again, we haven't seen those kind of lines.
$1
horses hit.
If you had an exacta and you bet $1, you would have walked out with 44.
No, so if you had an exacta on that particular race, with $1, even though most tracks only take $2 bets, but with $1, it was $161 would have been the win with the exacta, because that's 2 horses. So it's the 44-1 over top of the second winner.
So what's it called? Clearly,
I'm your guy. So go ahead.
I did not pick up enough at the Virginia Derby from you in this. What's it called when I just picked the one winner?
It's just a win bet,
and that's if I bet $1, it would have paid out 44 or
if
45.
Yeah,
but it would have been 2, so it would have been 88. Would have been 90 because you get them. Okay,
yeah,
I'm learning.
But if you're betting $1, we're gonna take you to the side and send you that 1-800 number, tell you it's time to step away.
1-800 bets off. That's all I got, man. This one's a winner.
Don't be out there betting $1 on a win. Bet that on an exacta. Live a little.
You got to bet $2 on an exacta.
Yeah, that too. I'll give you the other $1. Live a little.
All right, deal. I'll be out there.
Eva's the one in your house that can do it.
I know. She walked out profitable. Hey, but that last year when I was out of Colonial Downs, I did walk out with $2. I walked out profitable.
Real quick, Coach London's wife won some money too. Just putting it out there.
All right, so I may have to meet up with Coach London's wife and see if she can give me any tips.
That's a terrible way to end this.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The countdown is on. Save the date because Diamonds Direct's designer summer sale kicks off this Monday, July 21st with 20% off the entire store. Engagement rings, diamond studs, fashion jewelry, and more. Want early access? Book your appointment now because the best pieces go fast. Don't miss the jewelry event of the season next week only at Diamonds Direct, and designer appearances July 25th through 27th. Top designers from New York and LA with their exclusive collections. Visit diamondsdirect.com to book your appointment and start saving.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. Many retailers use a computer program to tell you which mattress to buy after answering a few questions. That's not how finding the right mattress works. At OMF, our associates take the time to understand your specific needs. They'll guide you through our showroom, explain the differences between models, and help you select the right mattress. No computers, no gimmicks, just personal attention and quality mattresses built locally. Visit any showroom and experience the OMF difference for yourself.
Your home for Major League Baseball all season long. W291CL Lakeside Richmond and WURV HD2 Richmond on 106.1 ESPN. You're listening to the second hour of Fitz the Bill on 106.1 ESPN.
Hour number 2. Welcome into Fitz the Bill. I'm Jack Fitzpatrick Allen alongside on this Friday, July 18th morning. Appreciate you clocking in, getting your day started with us right here on 106.1 ESPN Richmond, ESPNRichmond.com, and the ESPN Richmond app. We're also live on YouTube. If you want to watch the stream, just head on over to ESPN Richmond, type that into the search bar on YouTube, and we'll pop right on up. And you can watch there as well. You can be part of the show by commenting and subscribing. And as always, you can call or text in 804-327-0888. You know, Alan, I'm really glad I do not have an 804 area code, because I would just go on autopilot and say my own phone number on accident if it started with 804.
I actually have never done that.
Really?
Yeah, I've never said my number on here.
All right, you want to do it now?
No.
804. I got the 3 down. I got the first 3 down.
You know, I don't often give out my number, so it's not even normal to me to even say it.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. And I have this handy dandy wristband that if you want my number, you just tap it. Yeah. And it'll give it to you. So I don't even have to say it.
So you found it. You lost that for a couple days. Right?
Yeah, I found it. It was it was my first, like, man, you're getting old moment, because it was literally right there in front of me.
Oh no.
I know, it was awful.
Oh no.
It was awful. My son walked over and was like, really?
He goes, you know what my mom would hit me with when I was a kid and I couldn't find stuff? You know what she hit me with?
What?
A really, really condescending. She would say, "You looked hard," but like in a really like condescending tone.
My mom used to be like, "Did you even look?" And I'll be like, "Yes." And then like,
early.
Yeah, right. Like, no.
ESPN Richmond and Fitz the Bill proud to be a sponsor for the Virginia Council of CEOs Fall Leaders Conference coming up on September 25th. You can check out the link in our Instagram bio at Fitz the Bill ESPN RVA to get your tickets. Use code FITZ, that's FITZ, at checkout to be part of this event September 25th. An awesome event open to business owners, C-suite executives, and all of their teams. Ross Bernstein, he's a best-selling author. He was on the show earlier this week of over 50 books. He's going to be the keynote speaker. So get your tickets today before spaces run out. Spaces are filling up fast. Use the link in our Instagram bio at Fitz the Bill ESPN RVA. Use code FITZ at checkout. That's the Virginia Council of CEOs Fall Leaders Conference on September 25th. All right. We got a text. And these are really fun Friday rapid fire questions that I think will drum up a good bit of conversation here. Question number 1 on these fun Friday rapid fire questions. What would be considered a successful season for the Pittsburgh Steelers? I think it's pretty simple, right? It's a playoff win. A playoff win would be considered successful. And the way the Steelers have kind of treated this offseason, trading for DK Metcalf, signing Aaron Rodgers, bringing in Jalen Ramsey, I think in the building, they have Super Bowl aspirations. They think they're a Super Bowl team. They're making moves. I know they have the 12 draft picks for next season, but it's a Steelers team that's making moves that think that they are a Super Bowl contender in 2025. They don't care about the future. They're going all in right now, and that is evident on the signing of Aaron Rodgers. That is what a successful season would be for the Steelers.
So, yeah, I'm a little disappointed in you. You missed the prime opportunity to have a joke. A successful season is clearly 9 wins because they're above 500. That's the standard.
The standard is no, honestly, they could go 8 wins with a tie.
Yeah, 8 wins with the tie would
classic Mike Tomlin.
But it would be 500, wouldn't be above 500.
It's his record is 500 or above.
Okay.
He's got a couple 500 seasons.
But no, for real, if you can win whatever amount of games, honestly, and get into the playoffs with Aaron Rodgers at this point in his career, I think you have to consider that playing with house money.
I don't think Steelers fans, I don't think the Steelers front office would be excited with just making the playoffs. I think they have to win a playoff game for the season to be successful. They're not going to, when they re-signed Omar Khan, their general manager, to a 3-year extension, that told me that his job is safe and Mike Tomlin's job is safe, because now it puts them essentially on the same contract term length, because Tomlin signed an extension like a year or two ago that was like a 3 or 4 year extension. So they're essentially on the same contract term length. Their jobs are safe. I disagree with that. I do not think that both of their jobs should be safe, but for them, they want a playoff win. The fans will be very upset if they do not get a playoff win this year.
I mean, obviously that would be a disappointment, like the win. But again, just to get the joke off, apparently that hasn't mattered. So
all the Steelers care about is as long as we're not losing in more often than we are winning.
Yeah. So, but yeah, for sure, like a playoff win would be a step in the right direction and successful, and it sets you up hopefully to bridge to your next franchise quarterback, which probably isn't Will Howard, but again, you're going to be looking for that next year.
Well, the ESPN released a really good list of their favorite people to be the number 1 overall quarterback taken. Lenoris Sellers is on that list. Cade Klubnik, Drew Aller, Garrett Nussmeier.
They did a list?
Yeah, guess who was really low on the list?
Arch Manning.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no film on him.
This Jordan Reed, he wrote it for ESPN. He's predicting who the top draft pick is going to be. A lot of quarterbacks on there. A couple non-quarterbacks I'll just throw out real quick. TJ Parker, an edge from Clemson. Peter Woods, a defensive tackle from Clemson. Caleb Downs, a safety from Ohio State, and then a couple offensive tackles. But the quarterbacks he listed, Lenoris Sellers, Cade Klubnik, Drew Aller, Garrett Nussmeier, Fernando Mendoza, and Arch Manning. But Jordan Reed said, and I kind of agree with him, he doesn't know if he can actually say he'll even come out of Texas after this year. That he may not have grown the way he wanted to. He has shown that he's willing to be patient by redshirting and then by sitting behind Quinn Ewers last season. He may not even come out and declare for the draft after his junior year.
No, I agree. It's up in the air for a lot of people on whether or not he's going to come out. And you know, he's got that luxury because his last name is Manning.
Yeah,
there's no urgency on his part. His NIL is good enough, and I know people will probably use that as a as the indicator that look, it's ruining college athletics and this and that. No, he's a one-off, man. He's already branded before he even started anything.
I would argue the fact that NIL is keeping one of their premier stars in college football for an extra year is actually a good thing for college football.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm always on the side of get your money while you can, because you don't know what can happen. You could have a crazy injury, or God forbid, you get diagnosed with some kind of ailment that you didn't know existed, and you have to retire, something like that. There's always the probability of that happening. But you know, his last name's Manning. He could go up on the podium and be like, "I don't want to play for this team," and they'll make a trade. I mean, it's happened before.
Yeah. They also both, like, if the number 1 overall pick is, I don't know, the Cleveland Browns or the New Orleans Saints. I know Archie has the connection to New Orleans, but like, I wouldn't be shocked if he sees that and he goes, well, I can just use my own leverage and be like, I'm returning to school. I don't want to play for the Cleveland Browns. And I wouldn't blame him.
Well, you know, it's funny. Quinn probably wanted to do that, and they closed the door on him.
Texas said,
but
okay, if you want to come.
He could have transferred somewhere else. I mean, he started at Ohio State.
He probably should have transferred.
Yeah.
His 7th round quarterback.
And I still a little baffled by that. 7th round is really, I mean,
he was a former 5-star. Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, no, he reclassed to leave early to get into college, because he was the QB in waiting for Ohio State at that time. And I still don't understand. I think he got homesick is why he went back to Texas. But yeah, so like the pedigree was there.
Spencer Rattler was what, a 3rd or a 4th round draft pick who had a worse college career than Quinn Ewers.
Yeah, and yet. And he had some, I think he was a 4 or 5-star too.
He was a 5-star.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
And then he was a bully to his own teammates on that Netflix show Quarterback that followed high school quarterbacks.
Like I said, if you can't find success in Lincoln Riley's offense, considering every single quarterback he's ever had on his team in college has won a Heisman, basically, that says a lot about your play.
Yeah, that was rough for and Spencer Rattler got drafted before Quinn Ewers did technically.
Yeah.
But all of that is a long-winded way to say there are some solid quarterbacks in this draft class. I'm high on this 2026 NFL draft class for the quarterback position. But the Steelers, if they do have another winning season, like they tend to always do, if they do win a playoff game and they reach that pinnacle of success that I think fans have for the Steelers franchise, they are playing themselves out of a quarterback. And Aaron Rodgers probably isn't going to be your quarterback in 2026. And so then you're all the way back at square one. If they have a successful season, it's going to negatively impact them down the line. They have 12 draft picks. They have the most draft picks of any NFL team, but it is really hard to go from, let's say they win a playoff game. It's really hard to go from the 22nd pick in the NFL draft up to a top 5, top 3 selection, which is where you likely will have to be to get a franchise quarterback.
Call Sam Presti. That's what you're going to have to do. It doesn't work like that in the NFL. You're right. Like, I don't care how many number 25, 26 picks you have. You're not moving that high.
You would have to give up you probably have to give up your first, second, third, fourth rounder this year, your first, second next year. And I don't think you can trade 3 years out. I think maybe you can. You're going to have to give up a whole lot of draft picks and probably a couple of key players. And then you're kneecapping your own franchise to try and get up. So for me, a successful season for the Steelers is going 3-14 and getting a top 5 draft pick.
And also, like I said before, we want you to get into that range where we assume that the pick is going to be like your franchise guy. But again, how many teams collectively throughout the history of drafting have found franchise guys after the first 3 picks? It's been a lot, So if
there's also been a lot of misses.
Yeah, but to me, the risk is all the same to some degree with this incoming class, right? Like there's no one guy that you're like, I gotta have him. Again, just like this draft this year. Maybe Cam Ward, but still an argument could have been had where you could have waited for your quarterback. The previous one with Daniels and Williams, like you probably want to get one of those 2 guys.
Or Drake May.
Yeah, or Drake May.
Don't disrespect Drake
May.
Yeah,
no disrespect to Drake May. But there was talent in there where you would want to move up to get one of those guys.
The Steelers are also going to have to do a really good job of scouting the rest of the league this season, where it's like,
we're asking too much. Let's go to the next question.
But I got to finish this thought where you have to see like, all right, who's going to be moving off of their quarterbacks? How many quarterbacks are going to go off of the board early? Like how many teams will be in the quarterback market? Because everything lined up well in the 2024 draft that it went Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Bo Nix.
Yeah. Bo Penix is good too.
Bo Penix. That would be a great quarterback. You got Bo Nix that got drafted in there. Who else got drafted in that? You got like 6 guys that came off the board in the top 12 picks. And it was driven because there were so many QB needy teams as well. So,
the Falcons didn't need a QB, but they did it anyway.
Michael Penix. Yeah, that's right. He was. So the Steelers, a successful season for their fans would be playoffs and a playoff win. I think a successful season for the Steelers front office is in contention for a Super Bowl. And I think in reality, a successful season for the Steelers is 3-14, and you get a shot at potentially getting your franchise quarterback. Number 2, do the Cowboys make the playoffs? Do the Cowboys make the playoffs? Historically speaking, 3 teams that did not make the playoffs the year before find their way into the playoffs in the next year. The tough thing in the NFC is you then have to find 3 teams from the playoffs last year that you don't think are going to make it back again. And I don't foresee the NFC East getting 3 teams into the playoffs. They aren't as powerful as the NFC North was last year. I think the Eagles get in. I think the Commanders get in. And I think the Cowboys, I think they are much better this year than they are last year. I just don't think Brian Schottenheimer is a good enough coach to get them back into the playoffs, despite having Dak, what we assume would be a fully healthy season, CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens on the outside. Their rushing attack is going to be such a hindrance to their overall offensive play that it's probably going to keep them out of the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't think they'll make the playoffs, and it's more or less because I don't think I can believe in Schottenheimer. Like he's just, again, his career as an offensive coordinator has been kind of head scratching. I'm a little concerned that he didn't even call plays his last season when he was OC for the Cowboys. And typically I would say it doesn't matter for some folks, but for you to be an offensive coordinator for as long as he's been an offensive coordinator, and there's nothing to fall back on in you creating something or you making something better, that's concerning to me. It's been 14, 15 years of doing this, and this is your first try at a head coaching job.
First time you ever really were interviewed.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing. So I'm gonna stay on the cautious side and not buy into the optimism that Jerry Jones, and I'm not gonna say Dallas, Jerry Jones is trying to sell.
Yeah, I don't think Brian Schottenheimer has the chops to get them into the playoffs. They will be an improved team because you'll have Dak for a full season, but you're not going to be a playoff team. Like, Brian Schottenheimer was the mastermind behind the let Russ cook era, which was really good for 3 weeks and then was really bad for a couple of weeks. And Pete Carroll had to tell Brian Schottenheimer, stop with that stuff that you're doing. And then Schottenheimer got fired after the season. And look, if you're a coordinator that can't effectively scheme up a passing game in the year of our Lord 2025, things are going to be tough for you. It is a lot of things that have to break right for the Cowboys if they want to be in playoff contention, if they want to be in the playoff picture come week 15 late in the season. They will be improved. I really, you heard my quarterback rankings earlier in this week. I have Dak Prescott as a top 10 quarterback. His play in 2023 was impeccable. Last year was a little bit all over the place. He was dealing with some injuries. He ended up missing the second half of the season because of a hamstring injury. He's going to be healthy. He has better weapons this year with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. I just don't know how interesting that offense is going to look. I feel like this offense is going to look a lot like a 2015 offense that's a little bit unimaginative, that's going to try and rely on Javonte Williams, who's coming off of like 4 knee injuries, and Denver just let walk out of the door for nothing. The Cowboys offense has some major holes, and their defense was downright bad last year, and a lot of their corners, a lot of their secondary still injured and probably won't be starting the season for them.
I envision this being a boom or bust offense. Not consistent, but when their highs are high, they're good. When their lows are lows, they're bad.
I think it's going to be a boom or bust team.
That too.
I wouldn't be shocked if they have a couple 20-plus point wins on the schedule and then a couple 20-plus point losses on the schedule, because the way they play defense is very boom or bust.
Yeah, you'll know what Dallas has as far as playoff potential based on how they do outside their division. The division itself has always been a fist fight between all the teams, no matter their records.
Yes.
But outside the division, when Dallas has to go on the road and things like that, is where you're going to find out who they are.
When they have to play at home with the sun shining through the windows that blinds their own players. And Jerry Jones goes up to the podium after the game and answers question. He goes, well, we know where the sun's going to be a year in advance. All right, Jerry. Just get curtains, man.
That was a good one.
They may have a worse record at home than they do on the road. Number 3, will Jaden Daniels have a sophomore slump? And this is a question that I have been thinking about for quite some time, because I do think there is tape out there on Jaden Daniels. No, not they do think that. There's literal tape out there on Jaden Daniels. Defenses will know how to figure him out. But the thing with Jaden, and I talked about it a little bit, I don't think it got a lot of national pickup, but he watches tape on 2x speed. So even if a defense shows a new wrinkle in week 1, I think he'll be fully prepared on how to handle that by week 2. And he is one of the best processors and quickest processors because of the fact that he is watching tape on 2x speed. So he is seeing things quicker. He's understanding things quicker. And I don't think Jaden Daniels will have a sophomore slump.
So I don't think he'll have a sophomore slump because the offensive line got better and they tried to address all their issues from last year. So to me, the offense itself got better. Like the people around Jaden Daniels got better. I think also he's not a reactionary quarterback. So in real time, he's able to dissect it and apply that
because he's watching film on 2x speed.
So having that attribute also I think will keep him out of an air quote sophomore slump. So when you say sophomore slump, don't look at the record because the schedule's different. That might look different. His play, like, is he going to turn the ball over more? Is he still able to get this team into the end zone? Things like that. Use that for the sophomore slump because I think C.J. Stroud originally got labeled as a sophomore slump because the record wasn't as good, but there was a lot of deficiencies in his game that signaled a sophomore slump for him. I don't think we'll see those deficiencies in Jaden Daniels at all this year.
I'll push back. I don't think there were deficiencies in CJ Stroud's game. I think there was deficiencies around him. He was the most pressured quarterback in the NFL because their offensive line was like the worst in the league. I think that was, and I think what the Commanders saw with what happened between year 1 and year 2 with CJ was, they did not invest properly in their offensive line. So what are we going to do? We are going to invest properly in our offensive line by using our first-round draft pick on Connerly. Kind of ironic that you go out and then you trade for the left tackle of that Texans offensive line, but he was kind of the bright spot of that offensive line last year. So they definitely did it. They aren't flashier by any means. I mean, they are the same skill group. Brian Robinson still is their running back.
Well, I'll push back on that because Lane and the young man they got in the 7th round for running back are two big time.
You think the 7th rounder is going to get like meaningful reps though?
Yeah, I think for sure. I think they picked him up with the idea he adds explosion to their offense. So I think he'll factor in the passing game and what they're looking to do. Even picking up a guy like Debo, they're looking to establish an identity as tough, but also a team that's going to get chunk plays. They didn't do a lot of chunk stuff last year, especially on the ground.
Yeah,
but they've got
especially on the ground. Brian Robinson.
They added a lot of athleticism to their offense in Connerly. He's a really athletic guy. Lane's a really athletic guy, and again, I'm going to butcher his name, so I'm not going to say it. But the running back in the 7th round is a high ceiling athletic guy. So I think the offense opens up a little bit more, and they're looking to go not just downfield, yards after the catch, like they're gonna start utilizing the space a little bit better. And I think, again, I feel like they improved on the offensive side of the ball in personnel just by picking up two guys that I know for a fact can run faster than the 4.4.
I think they bolstered their trenches exceptionally well, and I think that's where they put a lot of their focus on getting kind of high profile names. Jalen Lane in the 7th round running back might be good, huge contributors for them. That makes them a little flashier and a little bit more poppy, but I just don't factor them in too much because I don't know if Jalen Lane will even get meaningful reps. He may not even win the wide receiver 3 job. And I know he is flashy and he was really good at Virginia Tech and he should be a very good NFL player, but I can't say it right now that he will be their wide receiver 3 that they're going to use to push the field.
And I promise I'll ask about him every single day until they do. Because for real, like this offense, that's what they were missing last year, man. Like if they had just one guy that could catch the ball and put pressure on like the defense outside of McLaurin, like it would have been so much easier for Daniels. And in general, the windows wouldn't have been as tight. Like the Eagles, that first time they played the Commanders, they kept everything in front of them, and then they shored up the lanes by keeping guys in the middle of the field, their linebackers essentially. And then of course they're the one team that no matter who they put up front, they can always get pressure. But having so many extra bodies out on the field and able to account for the running quarterback as well made it really difficult for them. They made adjustments in that playoff game, Washington did, but at the end of the day, they didn't have the athleticism to apply the right amount of pressure. But yeah, that's a long-winded way of saying I'm optimistic. The guys around him have gotten better.
They've definitely done that, and they have, even if they didn't do anything at the skill position, like literally nothing, the fact that they bolstered the offensive line is a huge step forward for them. It was a good offensive line last year. It had its deficiencies. They addressed those. It has gotten a lot better. So Jaden Daniels Jaden Daniels won't have a sophomore slump. Jaden Daniels will be the same, if not slightly better in 2025 than he was in 2024. I will say the Commanders may regress a little bit just in terms of winning percentage because they had the easiest schedule last year in the NFL. This year, they have the 8th most difficult schedule. Opponent win percentage from last year, 55%. And they won 6 games within a possession or something crazy like that. So you got to imagine some of those ball bounces go the other way. They'll just drop them and they'll regress to the mean. Jaden will have the same season, if not better. But overall, the Commanders will have a quote-unquote sophomore slump under Jaden Daniels. And our last rapid-fire question, will Big Al ever make a special guest appearance on Fitz the Bill? Look, I'm allowing Big Al to really enjoy retirement. He's out there living it up. he can come back on whenever he wants. We may hit him up in the football season after Cowboys losses, because I know he relished in those a lot. But letting him go out there and enjoy retirement as much as he wants. I know he's having a good time with that.
They still got a key, so I mean, yeah, he literally can come in and get on air anytime he wants.
He's
So
gonna buzz in and he's right there. But all right, let's get a break in here. We'll step aside. Be back with more Fitz the Bill on this Friday morning.
When you first saw her, she was out walking her dog. You didn't notice her at first. But when you finally did, it was too late. Because at that moment, you were speeding. She was out walking her dog and only had a second to let go of the leash. Your foot was on the gas, and her life was on the line. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
At Straight Talk, we are all about no-brainers. Calling grandma for her recipe, no-brainer. Streaming one more episode at 2 a.m., big no-brainer. Getting real unlimited data where you buy bananas, the ultimate no-brainer. Switch now and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2025 with select plans. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 7/2025. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com/terms. Copyright 2025 Verizon.
Summertime in RVA means Richmond Kickers soccer games at City Stadium. Family fun, food trucks, and men's soccer action on the field. Tickets online at richmondkickers.com.
Brew it, taste it, sip it, pork it. At the Beer, Bourbon, and Barbecue Festival, Saturday, July 26th at the Meadow Event Park. It's indoors for one day only. Open at noon for VIPs, 2 p.m. general admission. Listen to live music. Bring your friends to enjoy over 60 craft beers and 40 bourbons with unlimited sampling, plus lots of great barbecue. For more info, go to beerandbourbon.com. That's beerandbourbon.com.
Golf season is here at Hunting Hawk Golf Club. Plan your next golf outing for your kids' athletic team, church group, or fundraiser online at huntinghawk.com. That's huntinghawk.com.
Hey, it's Delvin Joyce, JMU Hall of Famer and former New York Giant. And listen, make sure you tune in to Talkin' Dukes every Wednesday on 106.1 ESPN Richmond. Go Dukes.
When you first saw her, she was out walking her dog. You didn't notice her at first. But when you finally did, it was too late. Because at that moment, you were speeding. She was out walking her dog and only had a second to let go of the leash. Your foot was on the gas, and her life was on the line. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
At Straight Talk, we are all about no-brainers. Calling grandma for her recipe, no-brainer. Streaming one more episode at 2 a.m., big no-brainer. Getting real unlimited data where you buy bananas, the ultimate no-brainer. Switch now and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2025 with select plans. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 7/2025. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com/terms. Copyright 2025 Verizon.
Welcome back into Fitz the Bill. Coming up in just a couple of minutes, we'll have Pat Jaggers from the Motor Racing Network chat with us about all things happening in the world of NASCAR. He's coming up for the Richmond race in just under a month as well. So maybe preview that race a little bit, as it'll be his first time at Richmond Raceway. And he has been blowing up my phone about it, texting about how excited he is to come up to the Richmond race. I'll
give him some track insight since I was on it.
Oh, yeah, you got the track insight.
Yeah.
You went 103 miles an hour.
I hate how you say that. I wanted to go faster. Forget you.
Hey, I'm just saying, Jordan got him up to 113.
Again, forget you both, actually.
He said you had a spotter in your ear. Is that right?
Yeah, we had spotters in our ear.
Did you get a bumper door clear? Is that what they would say to you when you'd pass a car? Did you pass anyone?
So I couldn't pass them. That's why I had to slow down.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know.
Couldn't get that outside line,
huh? And I'm not knocking the guy in front of me, but you could tell he'd never driven a stick shift. So it wasn't safe for him on the track or safe for me to pass him for sure.
Was he one of the local media members?
I don't know if he was a local media member, but Channel 8, Nolan was there. Nolan did fine. No, Nolan was fine. He was a pro.
Really?
Yeah, I watched
Better
him.
than you and Jordan?
I would say he was probably better than me. Yeah, he looked very confident, and he drove fine. Okay. Jordan obviously drove fine since he got to 113. But yeah, there was somebody in front of me, so I had to slow down.
All right. Fun.
No, it's not fun. I'm gonna have to redo. I'm actually gonna think about going to Charlotte so I can redeem myself.
Just take that 5-hour drive.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, and then come back with my certificate.
I did it. I got the 115. Take that, Jordan.
Exactly.
All right, let's get this break in here. We'll be back. Talk a little Dover Motor Speedway this weekend in NASCAR with Pat Jaggers from the Motor Racing Network.
Experience fun in a street-legal electric low-speed vehicle from Bintelli. Now available for cruising in your neighborhood from Richmond LSV. Our LSVs come with a Virginia license plate, lithium battery, Bluetooth, and much more. Follow us on social media, Richmond LSV. Schedule a test drive today. Text 804-363-4351 or email info@richmondlsv.com. Fun, fully charged.
This is Greg Trusinski of the Original Mattress Factory. Recently, the owner of a large mattress retailer was proudly sharing how over 65% of their queen mattress prices are $15.99 or higher. At the Original Mattress Factory, our focus is a little bit different. We build superior quality mattresses right here in town and do our best to save you as much money as possible. That's why at OMF, nearly 80% of our queen mattresses are lower than those prices others brag about. Stop in or check out originalmattress.com to learn more.
Looking for the perfect golf course? Check out RVA's best kept secret, Queenfield Golf Club, just a few minutes past Mechanicsville. Reserve your tee time today at queenfieldgolf.com.
The Open Championship PGA Leaderboard updates live on 106.1 ESPN, presented exclusively by Richmond LSV. Street legal low-speed vehicles. Schedule a test drive today at richmondlsv.com. It's summertime here in the RVA, and soccer season is in full swing. Make your plans now for the Richmond Kickers' next home game, Saturday, August 2nd versus FC Naples. It's National Ice Cream Day at City Stadium, presented by Nightingale's famous ice cream sandwiches. Gates open at 6 p.m. for a 7 p.m. start, so make sure to stop by early for happy hour beverage specials and sample RVA's best variety of food trucks. Reserve your tickets today at richmondkickers.com. And don't forget, at Kickers games, dogs are always welcome.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender. It does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, everything is so expensive, and our bills are piling up.
You're telling me credit cards are maxed out, rent is due, and the car payment's right around the corner? We need some extra cash.
We should do what my friend from work did. She went to billshappen.com and got the money she needed the next day.
Our credit is not great. Are you sure that would work for us?
Bills Happen is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
Sounds like it's going to be a hassle.
My friend said it was super easy. She did it right from her phone during her lunch break.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. BillsHappen.com's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Guess what? I went to billshappen.com, and we're getting our money tomorrow.
Wow, that's fast. Problem solved.
If you need extra cash, go to billshappen.com. That's billshappen.com. Billshappen.com.
So, you've got your dream car, your dream girl in the passenger seat, and nothing but road in front of you.
Okay, slow down a little, yeah?
But this isn't a dream. This isn't a movie or a video game. This is real life. And in real life,
Look out, look out, look out.
there are real consequences. Speeding endangers you, your loved ones, and everyone else on the road. While speeding may seem like the quicker option, speeding catches up with you. This message is presented by NHTSA.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
Seems like back to school happens earlier each year.
First day of school coming in hot.
And this year, my kids had massive supply lists.
Folders, notebooks, and pens. Oh, the humanity.
But Staples had everything I needed, with some items just 25 cents.
Watch the small print.
No. My back to school budget was saved by Staples Easy Button.
Everything for school. In stock and as low as 25 cents. Staples.
That was easy.
In store, online, and on the app. In 23 while supplies last.
Roll down the windows and crank up the sports huddle. Join the voice of the Richmond Spiders, Bob Black, every weekday. From stats to strategy, he's your rush hour MVP. Drive time just became prime time.
And now, Pat Jaggers. Pat Jaggers joining us from the Motor Racing Network on this Friday morning, as he normally does every Friday morning. He just did drop the fairies in our phone line are quite epic. The in-season tournament is rolling along in NASCAR, where as we all expected, Ty Dillon and John Hunter Nemechek find themselves in the Final Four on the left side of the bracket. Ty Dillon has rolled his way through Denny Hamlin, Brad Keselowski, and Alex Bowman. And then John Hunter Nemechek on the bottom half of the left side of the bracket has just casually gone through Josh Berry, Chase Elliott, and Eric Jones. Now, the Eric Jones one, I guess that one's a little bit more likely. But who would have thought Ty Dillon and John Hunter Nemechek have found themselves in the Final Four? Pat, welcome in. How you doing on this Friday morning?
Good morning. I'm good.
Great. So, on the left side of this bracket, I was just talking about it with Ty Dillon and John Hunter Nemechek in the in-season tournament. How in the heck did they get to the Final Four, man?
Here's the thing about racing is when you think about luck and everything that goes into your favor from time to time, you can have the best race car. But when you look at the tracks that we went to and the sport went to, you think about it, and it's a lot of unknowns and a lot of chaos that transpired to get us the seedings and the fellas that survived. And Ty Dillon, I for sure thought Alex Bowman would eliminate him last week, but the late laps of that race, Ty Dillon moves Alex Bowman out of the way, and he continues to survive and advance. And we're looking at potentially the 32 seed winning the whole damn thing. It truly is a Cinderella story, but that's what you got to love racing, man. It's really unpredictable, and that's been the beauty about this whole bracket. We talked about it a few weeks back, and it's been one of my favorite things to watch is that you're only going out there and trying to beat one car. And if you can beat one individual, you could be racing 20th, they could be racing 18th, and you go out there and find a way to get it done. Well, that's all that matters. And so it's interesting to me to kind of see all this play out the way it has, because that was the beauty about this thing. They didn't make it difficult for these drivers. They said, look, if you go out there and beat one guy, that's all you have to do. You have to win the race. One guy, you're going to have a pretty good chance of winning $1 million. And John Hunter Nemechek and Ty Dillon have found a way to do that. Same thing with Ty Gibbs and Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick, I'm not shocked he advanced because a lot of those tracks play into his favor, but he hasn't exactly set the world on fire. Ty Gibbs has, though. Ty Gibbs is very good on the road courses, and consistency is what got him to this point. So, it's been a lot of fun to watch. I don't think anybody had these drivers in the Final Four. I know I sure as hell didn't, but it's going to be a ton of fun seeing this thing play out this weekend in Dover and at Indianapolis when we finally figure out who's going to take home this $1 million in the in-season challenge.
Pat Jaggers from the Motor Racing Network joining us on this Friday morning. Pat, what are the not vibes, I guess. What's the, I guess vibe's the right word for that. With Shane Van Gisbergen, back-to-back winner, 2 road courses, a street course, and then Sonoma. But, he has been the most dominant road course racer we have maybe ever seen in NASCAR. What's the talk around the garage when it comes to Shane?
SVG doing SVG things, man. We can't really debate right now who the best in the series is, but I think there is one major element about this conversation when you start talking about the greatest of all time. What would things have looked like back in the day if you give Jeff Gordon, think about this, Jeff Gordon had a dominant run like this, and we talked about this last week. It was 1998 when he had a dominant run like this. What would it have looked like if we had more than 2 road courses on the schedule like we do now? It's a great conversation. It's a great debate, but purely just off discipline and strength, I think when you look at what is happening, clearly Shane Van Gisbergen might be the best of all time. But at the end of the day, I think that, what separates that conversation between him and Jeff Gordon is that Gordon was just the best at that time, man. There wasn't really much of a debate about that. Jeff Gordon was the man, and everywhere we went, Jeff seemed to win. But just looking at discipline alone, I think when we talk about Shane Van Gisbergen, we haven't seen anything like this. And I think also what helps is that Trackhouse Racing gives him the car that he needs to be able to do this. And I think that's the big thing. How many times have we seen Chase Elliott go out there and we feel like he's going to win a race on these road courses when he was the road course king and he was not able to get it done. I think there's a lot to be said about the crew chief calling the perfect race, not forcing his driver to, when you think about strategy, and what went to play last week at Sonoma. I mean, there's a lot going into this that, SVG, man, as long as he's been able to be in a situation where he stays out front, he's been able to continue to dominate these races. I think when we get to Watkins Glen and the Roval, Jack, I would love to see what happens when you put SVG in a situation where he's caught up in traffic and he doesn't have clean air. He gets a restart where the strategy works out where he's going to start 12. That's been the big thing about this, man. He's had a lot of things go his way in these races. He's won when you think about where he's starting and restarts, how the strategy plays out. I would love to see Shane Van Gisbergen start 15th based off of strategy and see if he can still win. I think if you're crew chiefs, that's what you're doing here on out, is trying to get to where you force SVG and his crew chief, Stephen Duran, to split the stage and force him to race in traffic. I think that's how you have a chance to win at these road courses.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see it play out. August 10th, we got Watkins Glen, the Roval, in the playoffs. I mean, it stacks up nicely for Shane Van Gisbergen, too, because if he can get through that first round of the playoffs, right, he's found his way into the Roval in the round of 12. So, I mean, we could be blinking, and all of a sudden he could be pretty deep into the playoffs just because of his road course success. We turn our attention to Dover this weekend up in Delaware. Concrete surface, a mile-long track. Denny Hamlin won this race last year, but I always am so interested with these concrete tracks because it just eats up the tires in such a different way. How do you expect that to play into the race this weekend at Dover?
It's going to be interesting. I think that, Dover really is kind of the short track that it's not a short track. It's the monster mile. I mean, a lot of people would love to kind of see the effect that it has on tires at some of our short tracks, but it's the concrete, man. It's a completely different surface. It's a grueling race because of how long it is. And it's not a short track, but you're constantly on the gas. It's a very physical surface. It's a very physical racetrack in terms of, once you start to lose handling in the car, because the thing about what makes this race so hard, Jack, is that we see so many long green flag runs. When you look at the last 5 winners, you think about all those drivers, all of them led at least 68 laps in those races. We've yet to have an overtime finish, I believe, in the last 5.
Wow.
It may be longer. Let me look at the stat real quick. I mean, we usually don't see overtime finishes here. And, none of the last 8 have ended in overtime. The driver starting first on the pole has failed to win the last 24 events. I mean, there's a lot going into this that makes this place such a difficult place to win and race at, man. And, when you think about these long green flag runs on a mile surface where concrete's a lot of times like sandpaper on these tires, it makes it a really difficult place to race. And, we were talking to Joey Logano earlier this week, and Joey said to us, this might be the most physically grueling racetrack on the schedule. And he's not the only one. A lot of these drivers feel that way because of the long green flag runs we see and the way that these stages, because you're just constantly on the gas trying to navigate the handling. I mean, it's a rough race.
Yeah, and Logano has not been all that good at Dover over the last couple of years, an average finish of just about 25th. I mean, it has been eating him up these last couple of years too.
It's been interesting, man. I mean, I know Joey would love to kind of end that trend this weekend. He's making his 600 start as a NASCAR Cup Series driver. He's the youngest to do so, by the way, but it's one of those things where I think about what's going to happen this weekend. If Alex Bowman had advanced, Jack, I think he's really if Alex Bowman advanced the in-season challenge, I think he could win this race this weekend. And we kind of turn the tides on the conversation around him at Dover, because Alex and Denny are the only drivers to win the last 28 races who don't have a Cup championship. I think when you look at Alex Bowman, this is a place he's good at. He won here, I believe, 3 years ago. it's going to be interesting, man. There's a lot of like really weirdness that happens. We haven't had a repeat winner in a really long time. And this place is you just kind of never know who's going to unload with speed.
How important is it to unload with speed at this track? Like, is that one of the more important things, or is it a track that allows you to kind of tinker with the car as the weekend goes on?
I think this is a track where this is all about handling. And once you fall off, how do you maintain the speed you unloaded with? I think this track it's interesting because you'll see that I think the top 5 guys, one of those guys is going to be your winner because they have the speed. It's about whether or not they can figure out the handling as the day goes on. And a lot of times, Jack, what makes this interesting, we don't know what weather we get at Dover. That's always something that kind of crosses our mind is that, when will the handling start to be a problem? If it's a really hot afternoon, it's going to come rather quick. If not, it's going to sneak up on you in these long green flag runs.
I'm excited for it. Should be a fun time. Who do you have winning this race this weekend? Who are your favorites?
Well, I mean, just something to keep in mind. No driver has ever won at Dover from below the playoff cut line. If you're looking for a driver outside the playoffs, I would kind of stray away from that one. I think about guys I like this weekend. I gave Alex Bowman. I think that's a good long shot guy right there. I really think that the 19 team of Chase Briscoe is on the rise, Jack. I like that they have kind of figured out their speed in all the different disciplines. Chase Briscoe and James Small, his first year at Joe Gibbs Racing, that relationship and combination of that crew chief driver combination, they're really starting to find their rhythm. The culture is getting better. That's a driver I like over there. I would be shocked at all if Denny Hamlin pulls the heater out here. The one guy that I just feel like we haven't talked about him forever, and this race, the way the handling goes, and the way that he can adapt, is kind of suited perfectly for him. Is Kyle Larson. I think it's about this time where Kyle Larson pulls one off in a season and really gets back on track. I mean, Jack, about your money. It's been a really long time, and this is the type of race and track that suits his strengths. I wouldn't be shocked at all if we saw Kyle Larson in victory lane. The kings of concrete, man. Places like this kind of show us who can really navigate and make their way through the field and can handle race cars. This place also suits a guy like Ross Chastain. Those are a handful of individuals I like, but talking about the bracket challenge this weekend, I'm going to go ahead and give you my final 2. I think that Ty Gibbs makes it to the final, and I'm going to go with John Hunter Nemechek. Those are my final 2, and we'll see what happens in Indianapolis next week. But those are the storylines and things I'm looking at this weekend ahead of the Monster Mile at Dover.
Pat, thank you so much for joining us on this Friday morning. Pat Jaggers from the Motor Racing Network. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy Dover. We'll be tuned in and excited to have you up here in the old capital of the Commonwealth in just under a month.
Absolutely excited to get on up there to Richmond. And also, guys, couple of tracks coming up, so I have some tickets available. Watkins Glen, one of the premier racetrack experiences in the country. Make sure you guys check that out. Also, Richmond, tickets are still available. It's going to be a hell of a race. It's going to be a hell of a weekend. It's a night race, by the way. It's one of the few tracks on the schedule we race on a Saturday night. So guess what? You go out there, you get hammered, you get drunk. You have all Sunday afternoon to go out there and have a great time. But literally 2 of the best track experiences, Watkins Glen, which is usually sold out, by the way, and Richmond, both still have tickets available. Go to NASCAR.com/tickets to get tickets today.
Yeah, Pat, it's a Saturday night race for Richmond, a Saturday night race. I'm glad we figured that one out.
Yes, Jack and I were trying to make travel plans, and I forgot that one is not on a Sunday. It's on a Saturday. So I had my girlfriend completely request the wrong days off. So that was a hell of an L I took this week, and she was thrilled about that. But looking forward to seeing you guys up in Richmond in a few weeks. And once again, make sure you guys go to NASCAR.com/tickets to check out Richmond and Watkins Glen.
Thank you so much, Pat. Have a wonderful Friday.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks, bye.
There goes Pat Jaggers of the Motor Racing Network. Glad we figured it out. It's a Saturday night race for Pat. Couldn't believe that he was texting me. He goes, yeah, I can't wait for Sunday. And I was like, no, it's Saturday night, man. It is Saturday night. If there's anyone that I thought would know that, it'd be Pat. But I'm glad I was able to enlighten him. Let's get our last break in here. We'll step aside, be back to wrap up this Friday edition of Fitz the Bill.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender. It does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, everything is so expensive, and our bills are piling up.
You're telling me credit cards are maxed out, rent is due, and the car payment's right around the corner? We need some extra cash.
We should do what my friend from work did. She went to billshappen.com and got the money she needed the next day.
Our credit is not great. Are you sure that would work for us?
Bills Happen is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
Sounds like it's going to be a hassle.
My friend said it was super easy. She did it right from her phone during her lunch break.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. BillsHappen.com's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Guess what? I went to billshappen.com and we're getting our money tomorrow.
Wow, that's fast. Problem solved.
If you need extra cash, go to billshappen.com. That's billshappen.com. Billshappen.com.
So, you got your dream car, your dream girl in the passenger seat, and nothing but road in front of you.
Okay, slow down a little, yeah?
But this isn't a dream. This isn't a movie or a video game. This is real life. And in real life,
Look out, look out, look out.
there are real consequences. Speeding endangers you, your loved ones, and everyone else on the road. While speeding may seem like the quicker option, speeding catches up with you. This message is presented by NHTSA.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
Seems like back to school happens earlier each year.
First day of school coming in hot.
And this year, my kids had massive supply lists.
Folders, notebooks, and pens. Oh, the humanity.
But Staples had everything I needed, with some items just 25 cents.
Watch the small print.
No. My back to school budget was saved by Staples Easy Button.
Everything for school. In stock and as low as 25 cents. Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app. In 23 while supplies last.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. Many retailers use a computer program to tell you which mattress to buy after answering a few questions. That's not how finding the right mattress works. At OMF, our associates take the time to understand your specific needs. They'll guide you through our showroom, explain the differences between models, and help you select the right mattress. No computers, no gimmicks, just personal attention and quality mattresses built locally. Visit any showroom and experience the OMF difference for yourself.
Summertime in RVA means one thing. Golf season is here. If you're looking for the perfect golf course, head over to Queenfield Golf Club, located just a few minutes east of Mechanicsville. Queenfield offers a beautifully secluded 18-hole course, spacious driving range, and professionally maintained practice greens and bunkers. Schedule your tee time today by calling 804-769-8838 or reserve a spot online at queenfieldgolf.com and make Queenfield Golf Club your new favorite course.
Experience fun in a street-legal electric low-speed vehicle from Bintelli. Now available for cruising in your neighborhood from Richmond LSV. Our LSVs come with a Virginia license plate, lithium battery, Bluetooth, and much more. Follow us on social media, Richmond LSV. Schedule a test drive today. Text 804-363-4351 or email info@richmondlsv.com. Fun, fully charged.
Border to Border with Matt Josephs on 106.1 ESPN. Your daily 3 to 4 p.m. pit stop for unfiltered sports takes, statewide debate, and no-holds-barred analysis. Richmond's game, Matt's Lane. Don't miss it.
Welcome back in, Fitz The Bill, as we wrap up this Friday, get you set for the weekend. We're going to head right on out to the phone lines as Bruce is out there on this Friday. Happy Friday, Bruce. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, Fitz. Good morning, Alan. Happy Friday. Hey, I know what you're doing 2 weeks, 2 Saturdays from now. I just heard that. But what are y'all doing this weekend? What's on your plan this weekend?
I'll be in Harrisonburg, Virginia, taking in the basketball tournament as JMU alumni team Founding Fathers is playing in the good old-fashioned basketball tournament.
I've got to go to a birthday party.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
That's what's up, guys. That is what's up. Because I can see what's going on in Philadelphia this weekend. I guarantee you they're going to be talking about what in the heck Joel Embiid is doing. Why would you, if you have issues with teammates and you don't want to participate in team meetings no more, maybe it's time that I listen to Matt. And maybe it's time for Joel to go.
Yeah.
And I would hope that maybe Cleveland Cavaliers come calling. I'll take Jared Allen and Mobley for an MD.
All right. Okay. Maybe get rid of him. Just kind of salary dump him or something.
They're not going to take that for Embiid.
I think they are holding on. I think the 76ers, and correct me if I'm wrong, Bruce, feels like they are holding on to, all right, maybe this is the year Joel puts it together and is healthy and we can win a championship. And then if that doesn't work out this year, then they're just going to blow the whole thing up and they're going to go through the process again.
Man, yeah, I'm holding out for that too. But I got to listen to Matt more. So I'm just tired of it, man. I'm just tired of it.
We got to let Matt know that you said
guys.
that. Thank you so much, Bruce. You do as well. There goes Bruce. We got to let Matt know that Bruce called in and said that he's got to listen to Matt more. I know that'll make Matt very happy.
It's definitely a big I told you so moment for Matt, and pretty much everybody else has told people, hey, let's give up on this Embiid thing. The process is over.
Don't tell Matt that he gets a I told you so moment. He'll love it, especially when it comes to Joel Embiid. He'll love that one. I think the 76ers are just like, maybe this is the year. Maybe we can finally break through. Maybe Joel will be healthy. And it's not going to work.
No.
And it's not going to work. And they're going to have another bad season because they've put all of their hopes and dreams into Joel Embiid and Paul George. Two notoriously healthy players, as we all know. Probably not. Probably won't be the best. Probably won't be the best thing going on for old Philly. Appreciate Pat Jaggers joining on this Friday. We had a great week of guests. Ross Bernstein joined earlier this week. We had Tom Flood, Sia Najad from Sportsline. He's giving out picks right around 10 a.m. Right when this show wraps, you can go over to the Sportsline YouTube and catch some of the stuff that he's sharing, some of his picks, some of his best bets for this Friday of the Open Championship. As we wrap up on this Friday, we've got one last Open Championship leaderboard update, and all Open Championship leaderboard updates are presented by Richmond LSV. Schedule a test drive today for your neighborhood street legal low speed vehicle. Just head on over to richmondlsv.com. Brian Harmon 6 under on this Friday as he has wrapped up his round. He is now 8 under through the first 2 days. He leads everyone at 8 under. Haotong Lee right behind him, 7 under. Haotong Lee is 3 under on this Friday. He's through 6. Rasmus Hogard 5 under. He has wrapped up the day. He shot a 68. He's tied for 3rd. Terrell Hatton, he shot 2 under today, a 69. Robert McIntyre 5 under. He was phenomenal today. He still has one last hole to wrap up, but he was even yesterday, 5 under today, on fire right now as it stands, the second best score out on the course on Friday, behind only the leader, Brian Harmon. Harris English 5 under. Matt Fitzpatrick 5 under. Tony Finau 4 under. Matthew Jordan 4 under. Keegan Bradley 3 under. Rory is 2 under through 15. He's now 3 under through the first 2 days. He is tied for 10th. Scotty Scheffler is teeing off in about 12 minutes. Saddam Kawakajana is 3 under, tied for 10th as well. And that rounds out the top 10 as it stands at the Open Championship at Royal Portrush Golf Club in Portrush, Ireland.
What a terrible impersonation.
Hey. Look, I got a really good Cockney accent. That's my best accent.
I guess.
I won't do it on the radio. I won't make everyone's ears bleed. I have to yell it. It has to be really loud. Like, that's my only British accent I can do. I can do a Southern accent pretty well, but that's more so because, all right, you've never heard my Southern accent.
Yeah, I don't think you can do it well.
I can do a good Southern accent. I'm not a good accent guy, but I can do a good Southern one every now and then. That's it. I can't do British, can't do Australian. I can do g'day, mate, because I worked at Outback.
I'm playing you off.
I hit at the perfect time. That was good timing over here. Wow. It's like we got this thing timed out pretty well. We've been doing it for a couple months now. We figured out the whole timing thing. We've been doing it for a while. All right. We got Braves baseball tonight. A series is starting against the New York Yankees. The Bronx Bombers are coming to the ATL as they begin their series tonight, 7:15 p.m. first pitch. Between now and then, you know what we've got? We've got Richmond's best sports talk because, folks, we are the spot where Richmond talks sports. Clinton and Friends from 10 to noon, Joe and Q from 12 to 3. Then we're out at Colonial Downs. Get the racing going, bring out your cash, and let's win some bets. Border to Border from 3 to 4, Mashup Hour from 4 to 5, and the Sports Huddle from 5 until 6, all live out there at Colonial Downs in New Kent. Go say hi.
We're home to the Atlanta Braves, live on W291CL Lakeside Richmond and WURB HD2 Richmond. Every swing, every win. Stay locked on 106.1 ESPN.